Hey guys, welcome back. I actually just got back from the gym and I thought about doing this video because I was just really happy because today I was actually able to lift my chest heavy as I pretty much could handle, and that's the first time I was able to do that workout in about a year. And so I know I mentioned it on my first video that I deal with injuries, but I didn't really explain that. So I wanted to kind of just take a minute and explain what kind of injuries I'm dealing with. Maybe you guys are experiencing similar injuries. And for me, it's really hurt me getting into the gym, but I'm finally at the point where those are being managed pretty nicely at this point. And so I'm able to live through it, which is becoming a huge morale booster, and actually was one of the biggest reasons I wanted to start this challenge, because I was feeling healthy for the first time in a really long time. So the first injury I have is a torn labrum in my right shoulder. This happened, I guess, initially about 5 years ago. I've re-injured it a couple times since. It went mistreated for a couple years because when I first, felt the pain and went into the doctor, they told me it was just tendonitis. And then, I had a regular MRI done, which did not show any structural damage. And then about 2 years after I originally injured it, I finally got a contrast MRI done in my shoulder, and it was seen that I had, 2 small tears in the shoulder. Luckily, the labrum isn't torn enough to, cause dislocation like a lot of people's is. And so I didn't actually get the treatment. I didn't get surgery on it. I just did a lot of physical therapy, a lot of rotator cuff exercises and strengthening techniques. And at this point, it's as strong as it's been since basically I injured the shoulder. So I'm feeling really good about that. If you guys have these shoulder injuries, just drop a comment down below. I'd be happy to do a video on kind of what I did to get it strong, and then what I do kind of all the time at the gym and in my off days to make sure that the muscles around the shoulder are staying as strong as possible, so that they're kind of supported and that my labrum is in the best shape possible. The second injury that I have is actually in my chest, and this started about a year ago. I don't exactly remember what I was doing, but all I remember it was that I was on a couch and I remember my chest popped. It almost like was one of my rib joints on my chest kind of popped, and I experienced really bad chest pain for about 36 hours after that, and it was actually pretty scary. I thought about going into the doctors, which I actually ended up doing, and I found out that it wasn't anything serious with my heart. And later on, after talking with my sister, who is a PA, she mentioned that it could be tsetse syndrome. And so I looked up what tsetse syndrome was, and that showed that it was basically inflammation of the cartilage around the rib joints on the sternum. And that's what was happening. I was experiencing really bad sternum pain, and it was really bad if I tried to do any kind of chest exercise, if I tried to do any push-ups, and it was at the point where it was hurting just to do normal things. Getting up out of bed, anything kind of out in front of me was really painful, and so it scared me. And basically, I went back into the doctor and told them that that's what I thought I had, but there really isn't any treatment. They kind of prescribed ice, rest, and non-steroidal anti-inflammation drugs, which didn't really help all that much. And so, basically I had to stop lifting my chest, and I did that for about 6 months, but the pain was kind of still there, and then I just had a weak chest. And so recently I found a device that was made in New Zealand called the backpod. And this device is essentially a tool to target the root cause of the problem, which is a musculoskeletal issue that revolves around the ribs connecting into the sternum, but then also connecting onto the spine. And so I've been using this tool in conjunction with other stretches that are aimed at keeping my back and my chest very loose and mobile. And for about the last 3 weeks or so, I feel pretty good. And it's really exciting. And so if you guys also are dealing with costochondritis, I would seriously consider getting the backpod. And so I plan to do another video on this. If you guys want, I'll show you kind of my routine in stretching with the backpod and then also on my own. But I just really wanted to throw this out there because I don't think I touched on it enough, and this is one of the huge reasons I'm doing this, and I'm really excited to push myself because being healthy and feeling healthy is such a great thing. So I hope you're still with me. If you are, I appreciate it. I hope you know a little bit more about my situation. If you have similar things, I really understand how it feels to have kind of not be there 100% physically, and it sucks. So if I can help you, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're dealing with, and I hope you can get through it. I'm going to do another weekly update here soon on Friday. I'm going to try to do a weigh-in every single Friday. I don't weigh myself throughout the week. So I'll know my weight kind of the same time I make the video on Friday. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy the ride. I hope you're on your own journey as well. And until then, thank you very much for watching.